big news. Your sister is graduating. Where is she graduating from?
Purdue University.
Oh,
Purdue.
Oh
crash.
Oh, you're in West Lafayette right now? Oh
Yes.
my gosh. Do you smell the cow poop? I mean, seriously.
Oh, my.
I'm an Indiana Hoosier grad. I don't like me some Purdue people.
Whoops. Yeah, no, I'm just out here. I'm gonna be in Indianapolis tomorrow. I'm gonna be testing one of my dad's midgets. So, yeah, I'm not gonna be here too much, but yeah, no.
Why, now, Toni, why aren't you graduating from college and your sister's not on this video interview?
Yeah, so we used to race with each other all the time. We grew up racing with each other. And then when it kind of came down to choosing college or racing, she was like, you know what? I'm going to go do college. That's kind of like a realistic path. She's like, racing's not really realistic. I'm like, okay, well, I'm going to go do racing. I'm not really one for doing kind of like realistic things that are in the norm. So I was like, this is right up my alley. I'll go take my chance on racing. And I moved to Charlotte, North Carolina. So that's typically where I'm based out of.
Ah, well, that makes sense because when you have a sister your own age, a twin, you just wonder where is it that the split happens, that you lean this way and she leans that way.
Yeah.
Was it was it dad? Where was the influence?
Honestly, I don't know. We're so different. We have such different personalities, even though we were raised exactly the same. So it's just kind of funny. We're just so different. She's very she's always loved school and been one to read books and do all this extra credit. And she always just easily got A's in class. I'd be taking the same classes and I felt like I was studying so much more and I just wouldn't get it like she did. So school was always her thing. And I was always like, I'm not a big school person. I did it. I passed. But yeah, she was always kind of the more smart one. And I was like, nope, I want to go do racing. So
wow, that's the opposite of everything we have been taught about twins. You two are supposed to have similar interests, similar likes, and similar everything. And what you described is that the two of you are on opposite sides of the street.
Yeah, honestly, I think racing is the only thing that we really have in common for a common like. Other than that, we're totally in different friend groups and just have different interests. She likes to go on hikes and all this kind of stuff. I'm I'd rather kind of go at home or go walk around a city or something like that. So we're very different.
Does she ever contact you and say that she's getting the itch to get back in the cockpit again and maybe you'll let her get back in your seat just for a test?
Honestly, I don't really get that call. Usually I'm the one to call her and be like, hey, can you drive dad's car this weekend? Because I can't make it. I'm kind of the one fighting her, but she's always like, no, I have class and all this stuff. So she's covering for me in a couple weeks at Lucas Oil Raceway while I'm going to be racing at Charlotte. So I'm kind of the one hey, can you fill in for me? Because I don't want to leave my dad's seat empty, but I also have to go do the ARCA stuff. So yeah.
Okay, so that's a big deal right there. Sorry, Statman. It's you guys, you're driving ARCA, and obviously the ARCA series on General Tire. That's how we have found you. But you guys are also both, like you said, filling in for your dad's seat, which is in USAC. So is that, do I have that correct?
Yeah, that's correct. My dad has a couple USAC cars. He has midgets and Silver Crown cars. So yeah, that's kind of what kind of got us into oval track racing. Is he got some USAC cars and was like, hey, I got you guys these cars. This is what you're going to drive. Even though I went to go do stock cars, I was like, you know what? This is the car that he got me. I'm not going to complain. At least it's better than nothing. And I ended up loving USAC midgets and driving those. But I always kind of had a passion for stock cars. And I knew that was kind of the direction that I wanted to go in.
Wow. So do you have, when you think of your sister away at college, one of the things that does happen in a college environment are parties and a good time and social life and all of that sort of thing. You're at a racetrack sweaty and dirty and all of that. You ever call her and say, what's it like? Can I be a part of that?
I visit her the couple times that I visited her and have gone out. I'm like, okay, a couple days is enough for me. I don't get how these college students do it a week long. I'm one night and I'm out. I'm done. I can't do anything the next day. So I'm I don't know how they do it. They're they're a different breed. I can't do it. She wants me to go out tonight. I'm no, I have a test tomorrow. I I can't balance life like that like you do.
Wow.
Whoa.
You're saying Toni Breidinger is saying that college students are a different breed. Honey, you are a race car driver. Race car drivers are a different breed.
Yeah, no, they're crazy for sure. Like, I don't know. Like, I go out sometimes, but I'm more like, I like to wake up early. I go to sleep early. I feel like I'm kind of like, I go to sleep at like 8 or 9 o'clock and I wake up at like 4 or 5. I'm just like, I can't like stay out one night. I feel like it throws off my entire week.
You always hear the stories about how twin sisters will pull a fast one on boyfriends and switch dates. Now, has that happened in racing where your sisters jumped in the race car and switched for you when people thought it was you in the race car, or vice versa?
Yeah, so actually last year I was supposed to do a race and then I got called to go do a late model race. So I called her like the night before. I was like, hey, can you fill in for me tomorrow? And she kind of ended up jumping in the car. But it's never been like on a race day. Like I haven't like qualified and then she filled in for me. But it's definitely been like a night before call, like, hey, like, can you fill in tomorrow? I'm leaving. I want you to go drive this race car. So yeah, she's definitely filled in for me a few times now.
So Toni, obviously you think for yourself. You drive an open wheel cars, midgets and Silver Crown, and you want to go on stock cars. So let me ask you something along that line. You've shown some support for a series called the W Series that is for women only. And some women have said that that is a silo that they don't want to be a part of, that women want to race against men and not be set aside to race against each other. Is that something that you embrace, or how does that work out?
Yeah, I've actually, before I participated in the W Series, I spoke on it before and I said that I thought it was a terrible idea. I was like, why would I want to just race against other females? Like, the great thing about racing is that we all race against each other. Gender doesn't matter. The car has no gender. So I'm like, why would we put ourselves in this box to only race with females? And then once I spoke with them and they reached out to me and they kind of told me their message and their reason why they were doing it that way, I understood that it was all for like female empowerment and to like bring equality. They just wanted to give us a chance and like an equal chance. So their message behind it wasn't to put us in a box. It was just to help us, like, it was more of like a stepping stone, like use this as a stepping stone, get your name out there. We're going to give you a car, give you an opportunity. It wasn't to like limit us just to the W Series. But yeah, the one thing I love about racing is we all just compete against each other. It doesn't matter who you are. We're all drivers at the end of the day.
Whoa.
It's at least getting more to that point. I feel like, I mean, last year, like if we're going to talk Bubba Wallace or some of the other issues with Danica Patrick in the past, or Bill Lester or Willie T. Ribbs, I want to think that we're making progress, but racing in general it's been kind of a white man's sport. So do you feel like there's progress being made? Do you feel like fan comments coming at you or with you are okay now? Or do you feel like we still have a long way to go?
Honestly, I think we still have a long way to go. Yes, we have made progress, but I think we still have a long way to go. And I feel like, we're always going to be trying to improve, and that's what we should be trying to do. So I do think we have a long way to go, but I do see, like more diversity in the pit area, even if it's like, even like the crew and just like drivers. It doesn't just come down to drivers. I'm seeing just more different faces just as like crew and crew chiefs and just everything just in the pit area. So it's exciting to see that we are getting more diverse and we're kind of, progressing in that direction, but I think we still do have a long way to go.
Wow. So Toni Breidinger, you have a Lebanese background and you're a woman. Which one of these do you feel the most tension when you go into the pits? Do you get more static from being a woman or from being a non-American, having that non-ethnicity from somewhere else?
Honestly, I think it's kind of both. Like, I feel like it's pretty equal, honestly. I think a lot of people that have an issue with it, or at least voice their issue, are like always on social media. So I never feel different in the pit area. I don't consider myself as any different. So I don't ever feel out of place just because I don't see myself as out of place. But yeah, it's always just like social media that people kind of like to make comments, but I don't really read them or pay attention to them that much because I'm like, there's kind of behind a keyboard, so they think they're all tough.
Yep.
So
one more stat.
Okay. The people who come to you in the pits, maybe the girls that ask for autographs or any of the fans who come around, do they have any, they just like you as a driver? Do they have any mention at all of you being a woman of Lebanese background?
I feel like a lot of the comments that I've gotten of, you know, inspiring people from my Lebanese background have been through social media. So it's been really great. A lot of people have DM'd me and sent me messages how inspirational it is to see me doing this. Cool. So I've definitely received a lot of support, which has been really amazing because I really wasn't expecting it. And it means a lot if I can even just make a small difference for somebody. But yeah, like when I'm at the racetrack and I see other females, a lot of times they'll come up to me or they'll want like an autograph or a picture, or they'll say, you know, like, it's cool to see you out there. It motivates me. So I think it's cool. I think the more kind of females that we bring in the sport, the more we can kind of lift each other up.
Good.
Toni Breidinger joining us here in the Freak Nation Lucas Oil Studios. We've been doing this for 20 years, Toni, and I've got a 7-year-old daughter, my first and one and only daughter, with this woman that's below me here.
Yeah, we're husband and wife.
You need to help me. You need to help me out here. What's going to happen when my daughter, she will participate in any man's sport? She has no gender as far as she knows. What's going to happen when I'm going to start whooping ass on people that start picking on her for being a woman and a man? What has your dad done when he hears stuff like that? Yeah. Has he punched people in the face yet?
Honestly, my dad's so funny. He's kind of like, he doesn't like drama. He's like, we're here to race. We're just going to focus on racing. Like, even when I was a kid, he was like, we're not here to make friends, Toni. Like, or anything. Like, he's like, doesn't to run away. Don't do your hair and makeup. We're here to race. So my dad's in this like racing bubble. Like, he only pretty much looks at the race car, thinks about the race car. So like any like kind of comments like that, he doesn't really, just like goes over him. He's so focused on racing, which is great because like that's what we're there to do. Everything else doesn't really matter at that point once you're at the track.
That's a good point. Yeah, there was a social media comment that I responded to. I think it was after your Today Show interview. And it was something along the lines of, why do we still have to bring up race? Why do we still have to bring up gender? And that's why I wanted your answer to the question, do we still have a long way to go? Because there it is. We do still have a long way to go. As long as you guys are out there, you and the Force sisters, or who else, Leah Pruitt and drag racing, or just as long as you guys are out there and working your butts off, which you are, eventually we won't have to bring those things up.
Yeah, exactly. I don't think it's about bringing it up to label us or separate us. It's about to bring awareness and like help show like other people, hey, there's diversity. Because I feel like if you see somebody like you doing something, then it kind of makes you feel like you can go do it.
Now, Toni, as you can tell, Crasher's got a little tan to her. Statman's, he's a black man. You've got a great tone to your skin. I'm as white as they come, but you're with. Listen, you have a relationship with. Is it Huda Beauty?
Yes.
Can I get some of that snappy stuff to maybe bring some color to my skin?
Oh,
please?
yes, I got you. They were amazing. They sent me so much stuff. I got you. I had a little bronzer, a little mascara.
Wow. I mean,
I don't know.
You got to get some mascara on Kenny. You got to do that. Promise me you'll do that. Get some mascara on his face. Wow.
Oh man, what kind of mascara would you recommend from Huda?
So actually, their mascara is double-ended, so it's great. You can like get one side that will give you more volume, and the other will give you more volume. So it's amazing, best of both worlds.
Well, Kenny does some TV shoots for Lucas Oil, so there you go. If Lucas says that they can't see your eyes well enough, babe, then you just put on the Huda mascara.
Yeah, they'll bring out your eyes right away.
Well, because I'm a MAC guy. I could be a Huda guy pretty quick here, man. All right. Can you handle that? Dang it! I'll send you some General Tires. You send me some freaking Huda Beauty. All right.
I got you. Yes.
You are unbelievable, Kenny.
What? Come on.
Wow.
Hey, before you get out of here again, thank you for doing this, Toni.
Yes.
What is the next big step for you? ARCA series has been a hell of a jumping off point for a lot of big time drivers. What is the next, whether it's a hope or there's actually something in the works? Is it trucks and Xfinity? What is it for you?
Yeah, honestly, I feel like within the ARCA series, like every race is kind of a step for me because these are all new tracks, and I'm just learning like the super speedways and the 1.5 miles and then going to short track the next weekend. I feel like every weekend is kind of like I'm setting like a new goal and I kind of make progress. I think like the next big step would definitely be my truck debut. So yeah, that's definitely kind of, I have some ways to go before then in the ARCA series. But definitely excited for that. It's definitely going to be a big leap.
Wow. What if IndyCar called and they wanted to put you in F2000 or the Indy Lights series?
Honestly, I will never turn down any kind of opportunity or any ride. I feel like, you know, if you're a race car driver, you're going to go drive anything. You're not going to be like, oh, I don't feel like driving that today. It's like, it's a race car. You want to go drive it. So I think if you call, I would go do it.
It's a race car. It's a race car.
It's fast. And it's
Toni
fun.
Breidinger here in the Freak Nation. Toni, thanks for doing this. We'll get you back. We'll get you back here in the Freak Nation. We've got a great partnership with General Tire and the ARCA series. Go out there and just kick some ass, will you?
Yes, will do.
Thank you.
And if you ever find the right bronzer for me.
Oh, you just go, get out.
Thank you, Toni.
Amazing. Thank you, guys.